from Oh You're Lovely, and today's tutorial, oh my gosh, you guys, it's gonna be so much fun. We're gonna take these books, which you can find at a thrift store, at a garage sale. You read it once and you never want to read it again. Get a stack of books, affordable, cheap, probably would have gotten tossed at some point, books. And we're gonna turn this into a very customizable home decor piece, and of course, we're gonna put some flowers on it. So grab a cup of coffee, let's jump into this tutorial. For this tutorial, you're going to need books. I prefer to get books from the thrift store or garage sale for $1 a piece. Paperback books are probably the best, and I like them with a thicker spine. You also need a set of stamps, whatever favorite set you have. I got these at Hobby Lobby, and some sort of ink I really like StazOn. For the finishing of the project, you're gonna need a little bit of twine, a couple sola wood flowers. These have already been dyed. If you haven't dyed sola flowers before, feel free to check out our last tutorials on that. It's super easy to do. And I also grabbed in a little bit of preserved, this is Billy Ball. This is also in our shop. You want a little bit of greenery, and when you get your sola flowers, they're gonna come loose, so you're gonna want some floral wire to be able to stem those flowers. Again, if you've never done that before, we have a tutorial right here. We're gonna grin and bear it, and we're gonna start ripping. We wanna try to make sure though that we keep some of that paper on the edge of our book. Depending on how you want the books stacked, as we're figuring this out, I want them from littlest to biggest. I'm going to take off that couple black title pages because it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. And that is kind of cool. Okay, our books, our blank canvas is set. I want to put the saying, always be a wildflower. And then when I start from the end of the phrase and go backwards. That way I'm not squishing my letters. Perfect. Okay, so the books, our canvas is done, our little message. Now let's get some flowers. Okay guys, so we've got our book bundled. Next thing we're gonna do is we're going to take just a little bit of twine and we're gonna wrap up our books. And I have here a handful of different flowers. We've got, this is a Sophia that has been actually airbrushed and not dip dyed. Tutorial on that coming soon. This is marigold, American Beauty, another marigold. This is poppy that I just painted the center yellow, a mini blossom. These are our hydrangeas that have been taken apart and then made into their own little mini bunches and then hand painted. And then a rosa. So I don't know how many of these we're actually gonna use, but we'll use some of them. And I also have some dried, preserved billy balls. All of this is in the shop. As well as the greenery we're gonna use today is mint bush. And when you get this, what you can do is you can just start clipping off single sprigs for your arrangements. I think the most I'll need is 2, probably less. And I also tend to take off a whole bunch of the greenery because it's so full. And what you can do with these extra leaves is you can actually stem them straight up into the flower itself. And now you've got a leaf already attached to the flower, so there's less you have to do with that. So we'll do one of those, and I think we'll just do this one here. What we're going to be creating is kind of like a flat arrangement because we want to be able to lay it on top of our books. So we got to keep that in mind while we're making this arrangement. I'm going to start with my probably focal flower, or the one that stands out the most. That's going to sit at the top of this arrangement. And then because we're using wires, we can bend the flowers however we want in order to kind of shape them around. Now I have a little hole there, so that's where we're going to pop in one of the smaller flowers. Is we're going to grab our books, we're going to lay it down and see how it looks laying down. That looks pretty good to me. In the little holes that we've got is where I'm going to put those billy balls. To do that, what we're going to do is we're going to take it from the top into the arrangement and slide it on down. All the while we're pinching and holding on to the arrangement with our hands. If you lose grip on it, it's okay. Just start on over, not a big deal. And that one is wanting to move around. Okay, there we go. And then we're gonna add one more. Now these are preserved, so they can snap off sometimes if you're a little bit too rough with them, but for the most part, this particular preserved one is pretty hardy and holds up to a little bit of moving around. And I still have a hole there that I'm not liking, so another little mini to the rescue. Again, coming from the top, and then it'll fill in that space. Adjust, pull it on my books, looking good. So now what we're gonna do is take some floral tape. You can also use washi tape will work. And to activate it, you just wanna pull it a little taut. This one's a little bit of a fancier floral tape. Typically, the stuff you'll find at your craft stores and what we carry in the shop is a green floral tape. But what I like to do is if I'm using the green stuff, I go back in and either tie it again with a little bit of twine, or I go in with washi tape afterwards to give it just a little more pop of color at the bottom of these stems. Because now what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually cut off the stem. Probably, this is a bigger bouquet, so I think probably right at the end here, we're gonna cut that off and then we'll adjust. And again, because we're using wires, we can adjust that a little bit. So then what we'll do is scoot the flowers right in there. And now you have the cutest little flower book that gives you a sweet little message that you can see every single day. All right, guys, there you go. Here's another one that I made earlier in the spring. It says, "You are my sunshine." This one actually hangs out at my house all the time. But I think now, because I like to have a little pink all over the place, this one might be taking its place. We shall see. If you guys have any questions or want to learn more about the sola wood flowers, check out what we're doing. Go to ohyourlovely.com, where we have almost now 100 different styles of sola wood flowers, including filler, greenery, and all the other craft supplies you need in order to make a beautiful arrangement. Until next time, this is Stephanie from Oh You're Lovely, and you, my friends, are absolutely lovely. Bye, guys.